Righty guys, so welcome back again to NZ Mopar Outlaw Kustoms, Minnesota Outlaw Kustoms, no. Associated with Minnesota Outlaw Kustoms. Hi Heidi and Arco, Outlaw Ridge on YouTube. So today I'm going to do a little bit more work around these spots for a little while this morning, just see if I can knock them out a little bit better on both. Apart from that, I think I'm pretty close. I'll have a bit more of an inspection, but I think I've got most of it out in both these things. So I've got a little bit there I might just chase, but I think really the bulk of them is pretty good. I'll go around the edge of this one a bit, just have a decent look. Looks to be all right, and I think I've got rid of the worst of the stuff on here. Again, just a few little bits and pieces around here I might just have another wee go at, just improve it, and then I'll probably leave these and I'll concentrate back on getting some paint on those hubs especially, so we can get that stuff back to the guy to finish building the wheels. Yeah, I think that's about it at the moment. Right now, again, thanks to everybody that's used the Buy Me a Coffee thing. So if you want a t-shirt or something like that, go on the Teespring, but I'm about to go on there and change a lot of the logo stuff since I've bought the Outlaw Kustoms into my logo, trying to build this as a business. We're going to go through and just take the NZ Mopar logos off everything and change it so it's got the NZ Mopar with the Outlaw Kustoms on it. I'm going to go through and change that all shortly in the next couple of days when I get a chance on the Teespring. So, but if you want to buy something, go ahead, I would muchly appreciate it. Now the Buy Me a Coffee thing has become a bit of a hassle. I think there's another thing that's called Stripes or something, which must be a little bit like PayPal. I'm not sure. I haven't really dived into it, but I don't even know if I can use it here in New Zealand. That's the biggest problem. And I've had a couple of people send me some money in the last couple of months through Buy Me a Coffee, and because it's in New Zealand currency, and it goes to this thing called Payoneer, it's a real pain. I thought it was only about $25 or $30 American before I could send it to New Zealand, but I need more than 50 something. I'm not 100% sure on the minimum amount. It doesn't actually tell you. I've tried to do a little research. I think it's 50 US, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass because Bill Cameron and Solar Garage are the last two people that have sent me money. But yeah, I still can't access it, because I can spend it through Payoneer in the US, but I can't use it anywhere outside the US, and they won't send the money to my bank account until it's over a certain amount of credit, which is an absolute freaking hassle. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to can the Buy Me Coffee. I quite like the idea, and it's quite a good thing, and I think there's more you can actually do with that page than what I'm doing with it. I think there's quite a bit I can do, but I think I'd just rather put my money into, time into doing the YouTube stuff and videos and whatever, and maybe Teespring, and then hopefully I can get Heidi and Arco to start printing some shirts off and stuff like that too. So I'd rather put the money through them and give them some money to do t-shirts, and then them shipping them out, and I obviously get a chunk out of it. I'd rather do that than give it to fucking Teespring. I think Teespring would be really handy for the people that are outside the US and Canada, but within it, I'd rather put it through them and do it through their web store type thing. I need to talk to them a bit more about it, and obviously give them the raw files for the logos that I've built up, and try and get that going at some point. So yeah, they can, if somebody wants to buy my t-shirts, whether it's, whether they've seen it on their channel or my channel or whatever, they can buy this, they can print stuff off and do it. I'd love to get that sort of rolling. Hopefully, once I get a few more subscribers, there'll be a bit more of a base there to people want to buying things. So what I've done, instead of the buy me a coffee thing, I've actually just set it up this morning, is my PayPal, because it's a damn sight easier to get access to the funds, and I can use it fucking anywhere just about. I can buy stuff at some of the local stores, or I can just transfer it to my bank account. No problems at all. I can transfer a frickin' 50 cents if I want to. I don't have to worry about that, and then it's in my bank account and I can use it. So yeah, I've set up a donation link on my YouTube page for PayPal. So if you do want to donate, I'd much rather you either go to the Teespring at the moment or the PayPal than the buy me coffee. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to send some money into that Pioneer so I can get the money back. Because yeah, it's like almost $50 US there, but it's not quite, if you know what I mean, between Bill Cameron and Solo Garage from their last two donations, because it's donating to me in New Zealand currency. When it transfers to American, it's still not enough. So it's a pain in the butt. I've got money sitting there and I can't use it, and they're gaining interest from it, I'll bet you. So yeah, until either somebody else makes another donation or I transfer some money to get it back to me, yeah. And the biggest problem is I don't want to get somebody else to do it and then I still can't get it back. I think the minimum's $50 US, but I'm not sure on that. Like, I'd hate somebody else to put another frickin' few dollars in there, and then it needs to be $100. Like, I'd rather just transfer some frickin' money from my bank account when I've got some free funds and then get it back, and then just frickin' cut that buy me coffee thing off. It's frickin' pain in the ass. Just the way it works, it used to be really good because it just used to send every donation automatically to PayPal, and I could just access it within a couple of days. But now it's a pain in the ass because it's got to go to this Pioneer and then to my frickin' bank account, and they won't allow. But I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure about this stripes thing either. I haven't looked into it, and I don't, because some of these things you can't use in other countries, if you know what I mean. It's a bit the same as this frickin' Pioneer. It must be like a bank account system over there. So yeah, it goes to that. But it's just, as much as I appreciate the donations, yeah, it's become a hassle to get. Yeah. So, I thought about setting up a Patreon too, but and putting raw footage up there from what I do. When I've condensed down 3 hours of footage into, I thought about putting some of the raw footage of me working on there, but I have enough problems editing videos now, let alone doing that. So maybe when I get a bit more time, or I get a bit bigger and I can get somebody else to help me, might do it then. But yeah, anyway, I'll get moving on with these things and just do a little bit of working around those last bits, and then we'll jump over to this stuff and get some of this stuff, get these other bits primed up, and then get them stuff painted black, whether it's today or later today, if I can get some primer on that stuff early enough, I might then just give it a light scuff back and spray it black. But I'm not sure really. Probably would pay to leave it till tomorrow, which is Saturday, and spray that stuff, a few bits and pieces black, so we can get those wheels, that wheel parts to the wood wheel guy. So yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah, I'll do that, and then I think there's a little bit of panel beating to do on some of the surrounds too, which we'll have to probably make up another buck to do, but that'll be a wee bit easier, maybe. Right, I'll talk to you later on. Right, how you going, guys? So, at the moment I'm being sanding this back. I've DA'd them and sanded them a few times back with 220, and obviously going back to the DA with 80 just to try and get rid of some scratches out of these from panel filing and whatever. I've got a few vertical scratches. I think I got rid of the worst ones, and I'm going to keep sanding back. So I'll just put about 400 on a block. So I'm going to sand them back with that. See how they go. See what they look like. See if there's any other places where I think I might need to go back and revisit. They're looking pretty good. If they're going to be good enough to coat, I don't know yet, but we're getting better and better all the time. But yeah, I know they're not dead perfect. I can still feel the odd little wave in them, which is kind of annoying, but you know, this is my first time really doing something like this, so I think I've done pretty well. But we'll send this back with 400 and just see if we can get them to come up like anyway. So these final grades, and this will help flatten it in theory. Right, the video's probably changed position, but it's alright. Just made a couple of videos from the other direction. So now I'm about to sand 1500. And just this one. Not that one. So we'll get this done with 1500 before I go. In about 13 minutes. Should be long enough to give this a reasonable shine up, hopefully. By the time I get this to 3000, we'll know if it's any good. It's be like a shiny new, I don't know, penny. Better than a fucking shiny penny. shiny enough. That's 2000 and a bit of a light buff. With I just did it by hand, just quick wipe over that. See what it looked like. 400, 2000. I think. Like, these are odd little, there's little blemishes in it, but, far out. I'll get down to 3000. Couple of coats of copper and nickel. Oh, that's going to be juicy. Oh, I can't help myself. I've got to frickin' do it. It's going to drive me nuts all lunch. I can't help myself. I've got to at least go around it once or twice with this 3000 pad. Oh, I was going to walk away and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Too excited. Alright. So this is 3M. I don't really know how this is going to work, but this is what these are. That's all I could get in 3000 at the moment. I couldn't get any paper anywhere, so I'll give this a try. Much bigger than that. Kick fucking ass. Right. So that's with 3000 without anything giving it a polish up. So I'll take that. If you run over that with a bit of, Brasso or Jeweler's Rouge or something like that on a buffing wheel, that would be so fucking shiny. You better see Uranus in it. Righty, I think we'll go have some lunch now. Sweet. Righty guys, so let's have these two cracks in here for a while. Hope you can see them. So I sandblast the inside of this, and I actually just run over this with that Scotch-Brite disc on the grinder. Just quickly whipped it over there to make sure it was nice and clean. So what I've been told to do is solder another piece of brass in there. So Dad, with doing all his trucks, bits and pieces and vintage cars over the years, he's got all sorts of funny things floating around. So what I was going to cut a little patch to cover both of these and leave about 3/8 of an inch or thereabouts around the outside of the cracks, if you know what I mean. Like obviously the length and the width, and this is about big enough. Like this is it's not too thick, but it's thick enough. Basically we're going to put some solder on here, or flux this, sweat some solder into here, sweat some solder onto there, and then put it on, and then you know what I mean, and sweat it down, and that should be good enough to stop this from cracking any further. Apparently that's about the only way to do it. I don't know. There possibly is somebody out there that can weld brass. How, I don't know. But like I'm not an expert in this field, but this is how I was told to repair it by somebody that does a lot of this sort of stuff, and they said this is pretty much about the only way you can really sort of do it. So I've got an old school big heavy soldering iron here. I'm going to heat up with the gas. Got nice stick of solder and some some liquid flux. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to fix this. And yeah, I haven't really done a lot of soldering. I know how it works, you know, but I haven't really done something like this. So yeah, wish me luck. So what I've also done is I've just gently clamped that on there so this can't run away on me. So I don't freaking sit there and try and hold it. I can use both hands, if you know what I mean. And I just cut a little freaking half moon out of a piece just to sit over there, just to give it something to rest against, and to try and stop it, you know, just with a combination of this. You know, like it's not the real super sturdy, but you know, something like that. I might just put another clamp in there behind that so it doesn't move. And it's half steady enough that I can work it with both hands and not having to try to hold it with one hand and use a soldering bolt and all that sort of stuff. You know, I want to be hands free. Obviously, not hold the phone either. I'll set up there on the tripod and we'll see what we can do here. So yeah, and I also cleaned the other side of it too. I just sandblasted the other side. I didn't attack it with anything else. I just gave it a light sandblast after I cleaned in here, just so that surface is clean. And then I gave it a quick sand with 240 just around that area. So hopefully the solder and everything and the flux all runs through there, if you know what I mean. So I'll get myself sorted up here and we'll see if we can do a repair here. Wish me luck. Right. So, I've just given it a spray with some brake cleaner in there. I've actually heated this up with a heat gun, just to, you know, so it's warm in here. So it's because you know we're trying to prevent this from cracking any further. You know, and I've never done this before, and I'm a bit dubious, obviously. So I've marked. No, this. I might have to cut this patch down a little bit smaller yet, but I've marked roughly on there with just a bit of normal pen, or like just like a normal pen. I just roughly marked in there. It'll probably be a little bit smaller, that patch. It's probably not. It's not bad depth-wise, and it's about as big as it was. I might just cut another little slither off this one of these ends. I don't know, quarter of an inch, I guess. I think that'll do. So I'll put some flux on here and some solder on here, and then I'll do this. Right, so I'm going to light the gas and heat up my soldering bolt and warm these up and then flux them. I think from memory that's what you're meant to do. It's been a while. Yeah, you know, like soldering a couple of wires together is pretty easy compared with, well, probably not really any easier, but you know what I mean. This is a little bit more, if I screw it up, I'm kind of fucked. Right, we'll try that. We'll try that. Righty. Oh, we'll carry on now that I got that other piece out of there. Not sure if I showed you that or not. Got that out of there. Now I've got to take the other one out. We'll finish clean out around there, and we'll give this another juice up and sand around there and whatever, and yeah, polish it up again, and we'll polish it on, and we'll call it a day. Righty, so you can see, hopefully this freaking doesn't go all queer and out of focus. You can see that the solder has run through those cracks, so that's cool. That's what we wanted. This was my first time doing something like this, like doing a patch. So yeah, and basically soldered on the inside. So that worked perfectly. Look, it's a little bit messy, but you don't see the inside of it, and that'll just stop it from, apparently, from the crack spreading. So it just strengthens it up, stops it from flexing apparently. So I've been told, apparently that's a supposedly a successful repair on brass. Like, like I'm no expert, I'm just what I was told to do, and it's worked. So the solder's come through there, and that will allow it to be polished up and whatever, and it'll still coat fine. It's not going to do anything stupid, so that's awesome. Righty, I will carry on polishing and whatever else. Righty, so I got to finish repairing all the other marks in this one and that one. Obviously got to repolish this back up to 3000, and I've DA'd this when I did these repairs, and there was a few out with scratches. I could actually see it from when I had it at 400. So I might have to just hit it again. There's still the odd scratch in it, but yeah. So I've DA'd that back with a sharp piece of 40 and a sharp piece of 80 on the DA. Actually, those 3000s will fit on the DA. So when I get really close to doing that, I'm going to spray this with some water and see, maybe slow that down and DA it with the 3000. We'll see how that gets on. But anyway, yeah, I'm ready to bring these right back to that basically, and then we'll start with the headlight rings tomorrow. And work out how I'm going to panel beat all this crap out. Righty, so basically, well, once I finished repairing that crack on those ones, went back around, done all the other little repairs, because I can't quite remember where I was up to in videos, and I basically went back to 240 on that one, after I'd done sandblasting and whatever, and done those repairs and scuffed it back. I just went back around the whole thing. Same with this one. Once I'd done all the repairs, I went back around it with 240 after I DA'd it with 60 and 80. So I'm back up to 800 on that one and 600 on this one. I've just been do one and then do the other and then change grades of paper. But it's 5 o'clock. I was hoping to get them both polished up tonight and try and make this end of a video or something like that, because I don't want to have this doing these headlights in too many bits, if you know what I mean. Three videos on doing the bases is probably getting a wee bit excessive, but it's what it's taken. Like, it's taken me, like, we're into the 4th day now. I started part way through one day after playing with that stuff, so I'm into the 4th day of repair work on these things. Obviously just a shitload of hammer and dollering, cleaning them back. We worked out how to do that repair, which is, that one. We worked how to do that repair, got that sorted. So yeah, now we'll just, once I'd got those little brackets out of here, we hammered, the last bits of these out. Like, they're not dead perfect, but like I say, like, these pieces aren't going to be really seen, but they're going to be a damn sight better now. And at a general glance in this area, they're going to look really good. Like, that's going to be pretty polished out and smooth and lots of stuff, but they're not going to be dead even. But the 80% of the rest of it is going to be really freaking nice. Like, really, really fucking nice. Like, compared with what they were, we're streaks ahead of where they used to be. Like you can see the hammer marks and the demo and all that crap on the inside. You can see all that, but the outside, as you're seeing with that one earlier on, like this one's exactly the same. It's not quite so easy, but you can see all the hammer marks in there. I've cleaned this one up better on the inside because I had to do that solder patch repair. But you can see all the hammer marks on the inside of this bugger too. You really can if you get the light right. Yeah, there you go. Where that solder patch is, like you can see the hammer marks in that. But on the outside, it's as flat as glass. So, and that's what it's taken to just keep massaging all those little creases and dents out. Filed it, D8 it with 40, filed it, D8 it with 40, I think it's 40 or 60 anyway. Filed it, D8 it, filed it, D8 it, hammered it out, just keep going through it until we've got it. So basically, there's almost no marks in it. Like there's a couple of little pit marks like that in the odd little spot, mainly where they're not seen. And some of the other ones that were bad, like because I've been around them so many times now with the DA and stuff, like they're just little specks. So by the time they've put a couple of coats of copper on it, buffed it out and whatever, and then put the nickel on it, they should be really fucking nice. So that's absolutely awesome. So yeah, tomorrow, whether this video and tomorrow's video tie together, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to try and get a video up of the stuff I've been doing for the last couple of days. I've almost finished a video editing from what I sort of did the last couple of days. I might try and sneak some of this into that video without making it hugely long. But yeah, then we'll have to get in and work out what I need to make to hammer these out on. These aren't too bad, but we've got some. We've got a few nasty little marks in them. So again, I've got to beat the crap out of those in places. A lot of it's not bad. A lot of it's not bad. It's really mainly a couple of spots like that in this one. It's pretty, actually might be just that spot, but I'm not sure about the other one. But it doesn't matter. Like I can look at that properly tomorrow. I just don't want to drop anything, break anything. I'm fricking holding the phone, especially with glass, because we don't have a spare. But yeah, like if I can get them back to this, just gently massaging it, sand it and gently massage it, and sand it and massage it, we'll be right. And it is down the bottom. It is down the bottom, so if it's not 100% perfect, but I get it really close, we should be right. Like it's a bit of a nasty, but if I just massage it, if I can get it back to a couple of little specks, I'll be happy. And then with a little bit of gained copper and whatever, it'll be really, really freaking good. So, but yeah, we'll call it here. I hope to have them out to 3,000 again, but I haven't quite got that far. But it's probably only half an hour, 40 minutes work tomorrow morning, and I'll probably be here most of the day anyway. I need to have a workout, see what many hours I've done, but not that these guys are worried about that. But yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow and send them out. Tomorrow's Saturday, but yeah, we'll get it done. But that's been a hell of an experience. Like, that's the first time I've really tackled a delicate metal like that. Because it is, once it cracks and breaks, I'm not sure if I cracked it or whether it was cracked before with the dent that was in it. I'm not sure. But it's repaired, so that's all that matters. Anyway, we'll catch you later on. Right, how you going, guys? So, welcome back again next morning. I'm hoping to get yesterday's and today's into one video. So this is video headlights stuff. It's going to be sort of a 2.5-parter, I guess you want to call it. I'm just wanting to try and get these polished out. I started with how much? What was it? 600 or 800 on this one, and something close to the one. I've just been chopping between the two. I can't remember exactly where I'm at. Oh yeah, I just switched to 800, so yeah, I'll do both of them again because I can't remember which one I done, which one I didn't. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I just want to get these all buffed up and polished up, and just see how they both look, and just make sure there's nothing else I want to tickle, and then we'll get into the headlights rounds, and also, if I can today, I want to try and get that stuff, a wee bit, the stuff I've got to reprime there for those bits and pieces. I want to just give that a scuff and try and get that primed today, even if it's later on today. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to get to, but I want to try and get this stuff sorted and just have a look at these headlights rounds for the front part of these, and just get them dialed in, you know what I mean, because I'm pretty sure that I assume they're brass, like the rest of it. I'm not 100% sure. 100% sure. They might be steel. Might be steel or stainless or something, I don't know. Doesn't look, anyway, doesn't look like it's brass to me. Looks like it might be stainless steel or something. But I will hammer and dolly that stuff. I think that's the biggest dent in this one. There's a couple of other little marks, but I'll try and make something to form into that. I think I'll have to do it inwards, and then we'll see. I might be able to make something to slip inside it too. With being that small, it's a wee bit more awkward, but we should be able to get it. I'll just have to play around with a couple of little bits of ideas and just see if we can form it. Knock those dents out of it. Especially when I've done such a good job with this. I'd like to have this as good. And get these hammered out, and then yeah, at least then these can be whatever, cleaned up and recoated if they need. If these might just, I might be able to just well, I'll find out. They might be just steel, but yeah, if they can be polished up, or polished them up, otherwise you know, they'll be whatever. There's actually no freaking clips in this one too. That'd be interesting. It's maybe like a little wire clip, like a little, almost like a little V sort of type thing. Yeah. None on this one at all, which holds the glass in. And there's a couple on another one, so yeah, it's always something in there. Anyway, I'll get finished polishing these up, and yeah, and then I'll look at them. I'll come back to you when I've got them just about done. You've seen enough of this. I'll try and make this stuff short, you know, until I get back into these other the rings. Yeah, righty. So I wet sanded, I can't remember which one, went right back to, I got to 2000, I could see a lot of swirly scratches in it, so I went right back to 220 and then went back through again on one of them. It must have been, I can't remember which one it was. But I've just given this one a cut with this here. Just, I know it's not metal polish, but I just gave it a quick go with that just to bring up a bit of luster in it. So this is the one that had the repair. You see the repair cracks there. This one. So those 3000 3M pads you can put on your DA are fucking absolutely awesome. Man, it's so much easier when you can do it by machine. So this is it before I polish it up. So obviously it's sort of, I wouldn't say it's a little bit more duller than doing it by hand, wet, but yeah, it's a damn sight easier. And then by the time you'd actually like cut it with a buffer and everything like paint, all this stuff, it would be really, really, really impressive. So I'm just going to give this basically a rub with a cloth just to bring up the luster and just to give it a final inspection, if you know what I mean. And then I'll start on those. So that's cool. So yeah, I'm a wee bit scared to use them on paint, but I will test it on a spot when we get down that far. I might try it on one of those side balances on like a little area where I know it's going to be tucked underneath the body before I start using it on the rest of the body, you know, once we get through the different grades. Because I might even, if they work really well, I might even go get maybe some 2000 ones or something like that, just to make those final few steps a bit easier and a bit quicker, you know, and then when we get into the buff. So, but you have to be very good, gentle coming into edges like this, because it'll burn through paint if you're not careful. But for the bulk of the flat, it'll be so much faster. But they work bloody good on this sort of shit. Polish, you know, metal prepping metal. It'd be cool to freaking do a whole car and just polish the steel out and just leave it polished. It would be pretty cool. Even if it was just steel and then clear coat, it would be pretty sick. Now you see a few cars done like that, but I don't know whether they actually go down to like actually polishing the steel and then clear coating it. You know, they normally, I mean, they might go sort of, say 400 or 800 or 600 or something like that, and you do like that brush metal finish and then clear it. But it'd be cool to actually polish it right out and do it. But anyway, I'm going to carry on and get to those rings. Alrighty, so both shined up. So yeah, it's cool. I haven't like gone real hard out to make it really, really shiny, you know, if you know what I mean. Like with a buffing compound or anything like that. I just get them a quick hand buff just to see what they look like. But I think, you know, if that's nickeled and whatever, you know, a couple of coats of copper on top of that, and obviously whatever they do in between the coats, they will look really good. Like if I really buff that out and polish it with some brasso or something like that, man, that would be so freaking shiny, it'd be stupid. Like they're shiny enough, you know. Like they're not dead perfect, like you can see the old little ripple in them, but like, you know, from what they were, there's hardly any damage, you know. Now, so like this, you know, old little nick around here where it's had a bit of a hard time. Same in here, but it's right down the bottom. You're probably never going to be looking down there, and everything else, you know, even those two cracks don't look that bad. And by the time that's been nickel coated over, or copper coated over and buffed out, and then nickeled, you're never going to see that shit. So that's cool, absolutely awesome, totally stoked. I'm going to get them done. So I'll work out how I'm going to attack them, whether I make a little buck or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll do something like that. See if I can get it in there, see if I can get a profile to fit it in there. And because it's so small, like that's easy because it's a nice big surface. It's easy to get a profile on, to get a nice cut, but that's such a small thing. It's not quite so easy to get a profile out of one of those tools, you know. But we'll get it. We'll find something. So we'll get going. Oh well, alrighty. A little bit. So I made a buck for these headlight rings, and after I had a real good look at them, one's almost got no damage at all. This one here, I have to have another real good look, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty much damage free. I will give them I'll actually go through them and DA them and all that sort of bullshit and clean them all up. I'll do the same as what I've done there. I'll polish them all up, so I actually know that they are really good. They need to clean up on the inside. Need to try and find some of these little springs, or make some, or whatever, because I hold the glass and I've only got about 2 or 3 of them, and I need a few, so we'll have to work that out at some point. But yeah, so I was going to try and video a bit of doing this, but I kept talking to old Arco from Outlaw Edge, Minnesota Outlaw Kustoms. So I've been working on, there's a damage, it's had a bit of a graze there. I've bashed the worst of it out. I'm just trying to get that shape right. So what I did, I've kind of used it, but I haven't really. I made a piece for it to sit in like that, so I could sort of hit down, but it was awkward. And then I also made it the other way, so I could sit it over like that, just so I could try and hammer on here or on here if I needed to. For that, I actually thought there was more damage, but there's only really that one bad spot. I think everything else is pretty good. I don't think there's actually really any other marks in it. No, it's just that one spot. So I've just got to try and massage this one back, and I'll DA the whole thing. So I probably won't start at I probably won't start at 40. I may start at like 80, or I have got a half worn. So I've got a worn 80 there. I might start with that and then go 220 and up with both of them, just to clean them up, make sure they are nice and finished. But yeah, so basically it just sits in there, and I can just form it a little bit if I need to. But I've almost, well, I wouldn't say I've almost got it, but I'm getting close to getting the shape right, if you know what I mean, and getting the mark out of it. So yeah, that's when I DA it, I'll be able to see it better and see how much mark's left in there. So yeah, I've been trying, shit if I can. Let's see where I've been hitting on it in here. And I've sort of been using the end of this, I used that to try and massage that mark out. I was hitting it like, so that mark's there. I was hitting it like that, and I just keep turning it and just keep massaging the high spot back down. And then I've been using this a little bit too, just to work on some of the points, because this one here, that small end there is too big. It's probably not too bad, but it's just not quite small enough. If I had one that had like just a little ball that was a wee bit smaller than that, would be really nice. I'd get it in there, but this one's just a little bit big. So I will hunt for a hammer like this that's actually got maybe a ball in between, say that one and that one, and then a smaller one would be really handy. And I did think about using this, but I think it's just a little bit sharp. It's not really that sharp, but I think it's a little bit sharp for doing this, whereas that one is like quite a bit blunter, and even though it's a bit bigger, it's just a bit softer on the end, so I'm not going to poke a real hard, sharp point on it. It's actually very, very similar to that shape of this. It's very close to that shape. So like when I'm heading in there, I can get a nice consistent sort of shape, and then I've been just going back over with this, just trying to smooth that out, if you know what I mean, smooth this here, because it was a wee bit tweaked as well. So yeah, but apart from that, it's not going to take much to get these right. I actually thought there was more in them. I actually thought they were both a bit marked up. No, not badly. I knew there was a couple, or I thought there was a couple of bigger marks, and then I thought there might have been a couple of little grazes in them, but I don't think there's much in them at all. Like there's a lot of dirty marks on there, which I sort of, when I first looked, and I thought, oh, there's a few marks in that, but it's not actually, I don't think there's actually any marks, and it's just dirt and shit and crap, if you know what I mean. I think once you actually gave it a shine up and a polish up and whatever, I think that would all disappear. So yeah, I think I'll start giving them a clean up. I think it was a bit of a anti-climax you would call it. I thought it was a bit more involved. I thought I might have been here for, like half a day beating on these things. Just doing these, if you know what I mean. But no, so like unfortunately it's like a 30 or 40 minute job, just massaging it, That needs to come out just a little bit more there, I think. Yeah, a little bit. Show me working on these a little bit. Tighten it back up. Yeah. This is sort of one of those points where if I'm hitting out here, I can sort of slide down, but when I'm getting into this point, I've sort of just got to just bang it down because there's no rush to really to move, if you know what I mean. So just trying to massage that out a little bit. Just looked like it was a little bit flat there. So I'm just trying to lift that a little bit if I can. I wouldn't mind. I'm actually going to buy, well, when I get a chance, I'm going to buy another one of these, maybe with a rounded head. Until I get another one of these, and then I'm going to actually round this and take the sharp edges off. I'm actually going to put a radius on it, but still have that same sort of profile, but just radius this and just make it a little bit softer. I think it would just be handy for some of these sorts of things where you don't want quite so hard point, but I don't really want to alter this because it's so handy for other things. That's the main reason why Arco's got fucking like 500 hammers. And I've got like, I don't know, maybe 10. That's not enough. But you just make do with what you got. So you can find more, you make something you can't. Like I've made hammer heads. I made these handles. Some of them anyway. I've made 3 or 4 of those handles. I made some when I was in Australia, but I just cut them off when I bought the heads back. Because they're a bit funny, if you're bringing some wood products back. I probably would have got away with it, but I just thought it's just as easy to cut the freaking heads off and make some new handles when I get here. Now. I'll just give it a clean up and have a wee look, just see if it looks, when I get it polished up I'll better see whether it if it's out of shape or not of me, and I can maybe just come back and massage a little bit. It might just stall a little bit full there now. Actually, the boys from Iron Horse the other day, I can't remember which one of them, or Jason or Aaron maybe, they were 3D printing some plastic hammers. I thought, shit, yeah, that's fucking not a bad idea, because like sometimes when you're doing things like this, you don't actually want to, like a wooden or a plastic hammer would be quite handy, not so hard. You want to shape it, but it's a little more forgiving. It would be really good for just massaging those last little imperfections. It should be interesting to get some hammers like that, as long as the plastic was good and hard. It'd actually be quite cool to have some. Be interesting to see what the weight of them was, because you want a little bit of weight, but it would be really interesting to see how well they worked. Yeah, they were 3D printing some hammerheads. Sort of like similar sort of stuff like this, but bit more basic. Obviously, start off with something basic to see if it's going to work. But yeah, because they do like make nylon hammers and all that sort of shit. So It'd be interesting to see how well it worked. Yeah, I think I'll clean it up first. I might run over it with, might put that rough, that fairly worn aching on there. It's not hard and sharp, if you know what I mean. It's not going to tear these to pieces. But start with one of these and give these a clean up and see how we get on. We're going to run around. Righty guys, morning again. So, almost the end of this video. How do I know that? Because I've been editing it, and I'd like to get these rings finished and polished up, which is basically all I got to do is really just give them a clean up and polish up, and maybe chase some little marks, and that'll be the end of this video. So I'll spend a little time doing that, and just get these polished up, like the headlights, like the buckets. Just getting to that level, I'll just clean them up with 3000, just make sure there's no other little marks and stuff I want to really try and chase or sand off or whatever. Because I haven't really attacked this one. I'm not sure if there's any bad marks in it or not. Like the only ones that are really in here. I think that's where I've been panel beating. There's a couple little marks there still. I might just have another wee go at them to see if I can maybe lift them. And you can see there's like just a few more little black spots where there's probably just been a light mark or a stone or something like that hit them at some point, but really not much. Oh, and there's a little bit of marking here. There was a light scrap across there, which didn't really do any major damages, and dents. Might be a couple of little minor ones in the front where I can just give it a little hammer. But the rest of it should be fine, you know. I think I might just hammer a couple of these little spots and then run the file over it. See if I can get them high, or slightly high, if you know what I mean. Just run the file over to get them down and just polish them up. I'm not going to show any of it on camera, I'll just do it and then get it done, if you know what I mean. And just bring you back when they're all cleaned up. It's kind of where I'm at with this video, because it's almost finished, so yeah, I'll get that done and I'll come back to this. Righty, so I think I got far enough. I've got these pretty good. There's a couple of little spots I would like to address again, but I'm not going to panic about doing it on video. I've got other stuff I need to carry on with these headlights anyway, internal brackets and bits and pieces and all sorts of other funny things to make, but that'll be in another video. So yeah, I've got this all polished up. Here's the other one on here. It looks absolutely awesome. If and when I ever get this frickin' shop truck built, if I can find the parts I want, man, I'd love these. I just run them as they are, just keep them polished up, maybe clear coat them or something like that. That would be sick. I wouldn't even nickel plate them, just have them like that. That'd be awesome. So yeah, that's cool. Give you another shot with the ring on. They look good. This one's a bit tidier. That one needs a little bit more work. There's a couple of little fine marks in this too, but I think they'll, by the time you get a couple of coats of gain of copper on there and whatever, I think you can actually, I think there's actually copper still on these, where this is right through to the brass, whereas I didn't actually, I didn't need to DA these really to, except for a little bit on that other one, to get rid of the marks and file it off and whatever. I filed a couple of spots, but not really. This one I didn't really have to do bugger all to at all. I just sanded it and cleaned it up, so it's actually a different colour, if you can tell. This has actually still got the copper on it, I think. So, you know, a couple of coats of copper in there and then some nickel and it'll be really nice. Whereas that one there just needs a little bit more work in a couple of spots. But it's all polished up. Like, it's pretty good around here and the outside. It's just those couple of marks, wherever they are, there. I just want to try and get those marks out of there if I can, and just get that edge a little bit straighter. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to do some other stuff. I can come back to that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to sub. At the moment I'm at 929, which is absolutely awesome. Still creeping up. You know, it's one of those funny things. I'll gain a few, drop down a couple, gain a few, drop down a couple. So it's a bit sporadic. Now probably for all the ones that had left over time, you know, probably be at 1200, 1300 I guess, I don't know. But it is what it is. But we're getting there slowly. And then I can work on watch hours. If I'd had the car shows, you know, over the last couple of 3 or 4 months, that wouldn't have been a problem. My watch hours are always way up when I do the car show stuff because I get 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 people watching them, just because all the local people through New Zealand watch the videos. You know, they're always hunting for those sorts of car show videos. And I bet if I'd had 2 or 3 at the moment, like, yeah, I'd probably got 20,000 people watching them because there's just no cracking car shows happening. Or if there has been, they've been really fucking just mere shadows of themselves, if you know what they used to be. You know, it was bad enough last year, let alone this year. But anyway, so yeah, this will be the end of this video. I'm going to carry on and do some more work, but it'll be on the next video, which I've already started as well. So yeah, again, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, all that sorts of things. If you want to support the channel, I've started off an Amazon wish list. I've only started that up because a couple of people have asked about it. I go into that more in my new video, which will be after this one. And I've also set up my PayPal, a donation thing, because I'm having problems with that buy me coffee. I'm having problems getting the money back out of from America, because it's got to go to a different, instead of going to PayPal like it used to, it's now got to go to different things. And the one that I've used, which it seems to be the only one I can use here, is an absolute mongrel to get stuff out of, because they'll only send so much money to a New Zealand bank account. And because I can't use, it's like a bank thing anyway over there, but it's not, I can't use it anywhere here, so it's a real hassle. So I'm probably going to can that shortly, but hopefully maybe I'll get enough money into it shortly, or I'm going to pop some money into it myself so I can actually get the money back. I'm just not quite sure I'm going to do that, and I'll work on that one. The biggest problem is I don't know the exact minimum to get it back in American currency, so it's a bit of a hassle. But yeah, so anyway, if you want to support, yeah, there's the Amazon link, the PayPal donations, or Teespring, and then there's also links there to my Instagram and the Facebook and all that sort of crap as well. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in a couple of seconds, but it'll be a couple of seconds for me and maybe a day or two for you. Cheers guys, thanks.